What is up, everyone? Today, our favorite holiday, which is May the 4th. It is Star Wars Day here for all of us geeks, all of us nerds. And we got a little special thing for you today. We're going to be doing a tier ranking of all the Star Wars movies for you guys. Movies, shows, all that. And then speaking of Star Wars shows, I haven't seen the Obi-Wan trailer, so by the end of the stream, I may do a reaction for that for you guys because, that's something I'm extremely excited about. Anyone who knows me knows that Obi-Wan is maybe my second favorite Star Wars character of all time.
Second only to Rey, right?
Oh yeah, no, actually,
Jar Jar.
Well, oh shoot, how can I forget Jar Jar? Oh, damn it, and Rose, damn it. Oh, okay, but no, not either of those characters. No, it's actually what's that little creepy guy that works under Boba Fett? What is his name? It's like that. There's like a shriveled up raisin. It's like with ears. I forget what his name is. It's like,
He works for Boba Fett.
yeah, he's like a little tiny.
Was he in the new? Was he in the Book of Boafette, or was he?
He was in Return of the Jedi, I believe.
You mean he worked for Jabba? You talking
about Jabba, not Boba Fett.
Salacious Crumb, like the little.
Yes, that Salacious Crumb. That is Star Wars MVP right there. That is the best character in all.
Or Babu.
What about Max Rebo, the drummer, the blue alien guy?
Oh my God! How can I forget the blue alien guy?
Babu's not bad though.
No, but I mean, at the same time, though, it's like Babu is like in the worst Star Wars movie of them all. So that's kind of, they already have a disadvantage going for them. But anyways, so yeah, guys, that's what we're doing. I am proud to be joined by my nerd loving of Star Wars friend Braden, also known as Jerk Porkins. Yeah, this guy is such a nerd. He literally has his basement is the Cantina bar from Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's like that's how much.
He's amazing, Porkins. Though Porkins actually was in 3 huge franchises. From the 70s to the 80s.
Oh, that's cool.
He was in Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Batman.
What was he in Indiana Jones?
Okay, you remember in Raiders of the Lost Ark when those FBI guys show up and they're sitting down at the table and the bigger guy?
Yeah.
That's him.
Oh,
what?
He was also in Batman 1989.
Huh. I'll have to go and watch those.
Yeah, because Mike, do you remember like the fat cop was basically supposed to be like Lieutenant Eckhart?
Yeah.
That's Porkins.
Wow. I literally just watched 1989's Batman too. I don't even remember it. So I'm gonna have to definitely go back and check it again. But let's settle a debate first. Porkins or Wedge Antilles? Which one is? Yeah.
Oh, Wedge for sure. I mean, like Porkins is cool. Like if you know him, but like Wedge had way much more, or a lot more, expanded universe material.
Yeah, but to be fair though,
Death Star assaults and Porkins didn't survive any. So there's that. Porkins only for me is because he's a bigger guy like me, and then like he's not a hypocrite. Remember, the actor that played Wedge was bashing the sequel trilogy, and then suddenly.
Oh, to be fair, I mean that's not.
Yeah, that just makes me like him more.
No. But then he shows up after bashing it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shows up in the third.
Harrison Ford has bashed the Star Wars as a whole many times, and he just shows up because he gets paid a ton of money.
I mean, look at Mark Hamill. He bashed the Last Jedi for what they did to his character, and
He didn't really bash it. He like kind of criticized, like
he
the right direction, but like he didn't.
He criticized it, but
yeah.
I mean, he still made sure that even if he wasn't happy with the take that they were going with, he still made sure that he gave what is one of the best performances he's given in that movie. So, because I have my issues with The Last Jedi, but I actually thought, and apparently George Lucas said when he was crafting his version of what The Last Jedi would have been, that that fans wouldn't have been happy with that direction either way, because he says that would have been my Luke Skywalker. He said a lot of things The Last Jedi are not what George Lucas would have done, but he said, but that is my Luke Skywalker. Like, that's what he envisioned for The Last Jedi, which is
George Lucas also gave us Jar Jar Binks, so
he
brought us Star Wars. I don't think all his decisions are the best decisions.
No. Too, and like people get mad about The Last Jedi, about saying like a Jedi would never go into hiding and become a cranky old man, and I'm thinking, Obi-Wan and Yoda both went into hiding and became cranky old men.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan wasn't really cranky. He was just like old. Yoda wasn't really either. But
Yoda, what are you talking about? Yoda was like cranky. He was like, he would hit R2. He would be like,
yeah, it was kind of done in jest. Like they weren't depressed or nihilistic. Luke was like actually like he had a negative outlook on everything by the time, So I think like it was just I don't think that his character got like the proper continuity with the original trilogy that it should have gotten.
I guess I felt like they were trying to go the gray Jedi route almost with him by the end of it.
Maybe.
Which would have been interesting to explore for sure. But yeah, I'm doing a share screen here, and this is our tier list. I have all set out.
Wait. You said 12 movies, right?
12 movies, but I'm also doing the series as well.
No. It's because you got to add 2 more then.
I'm not adding the holiday special.
No, not the holiday special.
Which one?
The Ewok movies.
Oh
no, God, I'm not adding those either.
They're better than the holiday special.
I feel like the first one might go in like the second to bottom, and then like the second one was just trash.
The second one had Wilford Brimley. That was what makes it awesome.
I never even like finished those. I was just like, and I'm a fan of the Ewoks. Don't get me wrong. I'm like one in the minority that I'm a fan of the Ewoks, but I tried watching those and I was like, maybe it's because I didn't grow up with them. I just couldn't get into those at all. But one of these days, the holiday special drinking game will be coming for you guys,
and I'll be joining you. Like especially with the Wookiee porn scene.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's that. I refused to put that on this tier list because I just no.
I heard though that the new holiday special was pretty good though.
Like the Lego one.
Yeah,
that wasn't bad. That was fun. They also did like a Halloween one too, I think, on Disney Plus. That was kind of fun. But yeah, so these are the tiers. So at the top here, I don't know if I can like zoom it in or not. What does this button do? I've never played with this. I don't want to mess with it too much, but I guess it doesn't do anything. I think it's just to move. So, but these are what the tiers say. So the top tier is, and they're all Star Wars quotes. The top tier is, they have the high ground, meaning these are the highest of the highs, the best of the best is in there. It's absolutely, like almost masterpiece. It's the S tier, pretty much. And then your A tier is you don't know the power of these movies and shows. Oh, I put movie. Oops, I forgot my ass there. But that's what the second tier is, and the third one, to quote the Emperor, good. So that's your good tier. And then for your okay tier, you have okie day. I thought that would be, kind of fitting. Don't know why that popped up in my head. So Jar Jar is representing the stream. That is
Oh god.
perfect. And then
It should be the bottom tier.
that should be what?
Should be the bottom tier.
Oh my. Well, the second to the bottom is I find your lack of quality disturbing. And
That's
then
here, yeah.
And then the next one from that, I'm a Star Wars fan. I spelled that word wrong, so let me respell that. Is poodoo. There you go. Cool. So that is the very bottom tier. So that is how we are going with it. Yeah. So poodoo is bottom of the barrel trash. Then you got I find your lack of quality disturbing, which is like still really bad. And then you get okie day, which is your okay type things. They're not the best. And then you have your good tier, and then you have your you don't know the power of these movies and shows, and then they have the high ground. Those are our tiers. And then starting out, we'll do a throwaway one because I have not seen all this show. So it is kind of unfair because I haven't seen all this show yet, but it's kind of a good starter because I don't know where I'd put it. I don't know if you've seen it, Braden, but Star Wars Resistance. What are we doing with that one?
I haven't seen it at all, so I can't judge it. But from what I got, it was like definitely oriented for very, very young children. So maybe okay. Maybe I find your lack of quality disturbing.
When I was watching it, I was not. Have you seen this at all, Ross, or no?
Never even heard of it.
Never even heard of it. Interesting. So yeah, I tried like the first couple episodes and I could not get into it, so I think it's safe at that tier. So next up, we've got one movie that we're all familiar with, and this is one that is actually Braden's favorite movie in the Star Wars franchise. He told me himself, and that is Star Wars: The Last Jedi. So
it's actually not my most hated, but I'll.
So
it's actually my favorite of the sequel trilogy, which is a bit controversial, but I have my reasons.
Interesting. I actually go back and forth between that one and The Force Awakens is my favorite of the trilogy. But
starting now.
See, even though like I like The Last Jedi broke a lot of things, like with like the hyperspace like ramming, thing, like it looked cool. It's kind of cool that they experimented with some stuff. They still had some solid world building, even though it was like very like political. It was obvious that they had like some, what's the word? Like influence from like modern day politics a little bit. But like it was I thought like that of the movies of the sequel trilogy, it was the most creative. Like the most original story, even though it was like I thought it was very meh to bad. I would say it was probably, if I were to rank it, it would probably be Okie Day or like in the bottom, second to bottom tier.
Okay.
But what do you guys think?
So for me, The Last Jedi is. I'll let Ross go first. I'll go last. I want to share my thoughts.
I would put this in the Okie Day thing only because for me it has literally some of the best Star Wars moments I've ever seen, and then like some of the worst Star Wars moments I've ever seen. Like the whole like sand thing, like that was really cool. And then like the scene where like when like Ray snaps and then you see like 1,000 rays. But that kid that was one of the worst Star Wars actors, and like Benicio del Toro was actually pointless. So then I put this in the Okie Day tier. It's not the best, but it's not nowhere near the worst.
So it looks like because of you guys voting, we're gonna put it in that tier. But I'm gonna argue right now for why I would put it in the good tier, or good, should I say, is because I and maybe it's just because I was a fan of this movie, right? And I have my problems with it. Don't get me wrong. I have my flaws with it. I do not think it's a flawless movie by any means. But I will say this, that like the way I look at it is almost everything with Rey, Luke, and Kylo in the film, I think is like a near masterpiece. But then it's like everything with uh Finn, Rose, Phasma, any of that stuff. That was like atrocious and really hard to watch. And so you get like those two parallels there colliding with one another.
Yeah.
And I still think in there's a good movie. That's why I will argue that it's good, and that and especially I think Rise of Skywalker, my personal worst Star Wars movie of all time. I think that like once I saw that and everything that it tried to like, I understand them getting mad at The Last Jedi and being like, well, this wasn't J.J. Abrams' vision. That's fine. You don't need to completely decanonize everything The Last Jedi built. You should at least try to jump off what it
Yes.
did. Keep that stuff in there, but say, how can we keep that stuff and make it better?
What do you think about the Mary Poppins scene, though? Honestly, what do you think about the Mary Poppins scene?
See, I actually thought it was laughable at first, but the more I see it, and yes, the execution, the way she looks, it does look really laughable. I'm still going to say that. It does. But Leia is force sensitive. So it makes sense that she would be able to do something like that.
But she also quit training, in like the very beginning, like right after she had that vision, right?
Yeah, and then
that's a good point.
and then okay, like if she would just like use her body to guide it, I would have been better. Like she like but the finger, how she points the finger up and she uses her finger as the steering thing. That's what killed it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was kind of a strange choice. And like I said, that's one of my flaws there, and the fact that this would have been the perfect time for Finn to die. Like he would have had that perfect, character arc for his character if they actually let him like save, the guy, like save everyone in that moment by sacrificing his life. That would have been really good. But and I've said this about the sequel trilogy compared to the prequel trilogy. I've always said that like the prequel trilogy are like badly executed movies with amazing lore, while the sequel trilogy are like extremely well made movies with kind of crap lore, and I stand by that still.
They're not well made. They have high production value, but they're like like they spent a lot of money with the special effects, but like it's not really like it's not a good move. Like it's kind of like if you turn your brain off and you watch it, it's fun to watch in like the movies, but like if you spent a lot of time like watching or reading, Star Wars, canon and like the expanded universe, you like look at it and you're like, this isn't really like, good Star Wars.
Well, yeah, that's lore. That's lore, though. That's what I'm talking about. Is the lore part of it doesn't work well with the sequel trilogy. But if you look at like The Last Jedi, I think it's one of the best directed Star Wars movies out there. Like if you look at the actual like effects, the way that Rian Johnson did the camera movements, the way that he choreographed things, like everything as far as directing goes was almost seemingly flawless. Like that part of it was. So it's a very, very well made film, and that's kind of, I mean, I say that about the sequel trilogy, but then Rise of Skywalker was like badly done on both the filmmaking and the
Yeah, because you couldn't like keep up with what was going on. It was like they would like just keep going, going all over the place,
Yeah.
And it was like, oh well, this isn't really like makes sense what they're doing. And then like if you even thought about it more, like the thing with the dagger, like having to be like in the right position at the right time, and assuming everything like is was preserved perfectly, like it would show you the room to like where this holocron thing was stashed. Like it was like bad storytelling, but yeah, I think that's like a flaw in all of the sequel trilogy, which is why like I don't like any of them. Like they don't have like a logical progression of storytelling. Like it's more like just jumping all over the place and getting as many like cool scenes and like special effects in as you can.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. Dan Mario, yes, dude, literally the same thing that Rob says. Will the Ewok TV movies be included in the rankings? You know what? Just to make you all happy, I will watch the Ewok movies all the way through now. Just to make you all happy, because I've never seen them all the way through. That's why they're not on here.
You would like part 2 only because I know how much you like Wilford Brimley, huh?
Who's he again? What's he doing?
Okay, do you remember he's in your favorite horror movie of all time?
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Wilford Brimley. I love
The Old Man?
Yep. I love him in that one. So yeah. So hey, if he's in it, I might check that one out. So next up, going back to another TV series, we've got one that sort of, I guess you could say, spawned the whole new craze of like, we're getting so many Star Wars shows, and we wouldn't be getting Obi-Wan and all these without it, and that is Mandalorian. So where do you guys think that we should put Mandalorian on here?
I think at this point they have the high ground, only because like there's actually been technically 2.5 Mandalorian seasons. Like it's because the best parts about Boba Fett were the ones where Boba Fett wasn't in it and the Mandalorian was.
That's true. That's a good point. What about you, Braden? What do you think?
I'm a little biased because like I loved like reading like the Republic Commando books, so I love like the Mandalorian like lore and stuff. I thought it was really well done. Yeah, I think I would put it in that they have the high ground too. It's very of the new Star Wars like uh movies and TV shows that Disney has done. I think it's the best done.
Yep.
Yeah. I would absolutely agree with that. I think that that's a worthy spot, and they have the high ground. I think that that it's a fantastic show, and I'm a sucker for like westerns, and I always have loved the western aspect of Star Wars. There's always been that kind of aspect to certain films and shows that they've done and characters. And so when they made almost like a full-on western with Mandalorian, I was all in. And then of course, Baby Yoda, that big craze,
Yes, and it's still going on, but and then like any show that has Clancy Brown can't be terrible.
Oh yeah.
And the world building in it is phenomenal. Like I think it's the best of all the Star Wars, products out there. It's really nice to see like the heroes who are actually like different from like the the mold that we get with like the other like the main trilogy heroes. Like they're all kind of like the same if you think about it.
Yeah.
These guys have more depth to them. Like was it Bill Burr or Bar. What? No.
Yeah, Bill Burr. Yeah, he's
Oh
hilarious.
yeah, I
His
love him.
character was awesome. I loved his arc. I mean, that's what Finn's arc should have been in
Yeah.
this trilogy, but
Yeah, like
they really
what
wasted his character.
species was Clancy Brown in the Mandalorian? You know, because I've seen that creature before. I don't know if it has a name though.
Wait, which one is that?
The devil thing.
Oh, the Devorian. Devorian, I think is what it's called. I don't.
I think that's what it is. But this was like the first time in the new Star Wars stuff that like none of the movies really made me feel. I mean, maybe you could argue Force Awakens just because the hype was there, but as far as like actual quality goes, this is the first thing of any of this new Star Wars era that made me feel like we were going back to Star Wars. Like that's what really made me feel like we were going back there. Plus the theme. I mean, the theme song is
But to be fair though, like it did start a trend though that's too much now. No more Tatooine.
Oh, because everything takes place on Tatooine.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I will say this: like Star Wars seems like they do kind of want to shrink their universe. Like I was one of those people. It made sense to bring Luke in. I thought that was cool. I thought that was really cool at the end there when they're having Luke kill all those Death Troopers and stuff, or is it Dark Troopers? I think it's Dark Troopers. But whenever he's killing all those things, that was really cool. I flipped out. I was geeking out. But I would have liked them to like expand their universe. I would have loved that to be like Cal from Fallen Order, or to have like Ezra from Rebels or something like that. Pop in there and like instead of just being like, oh, remember this old character? Let's bring this old character back. And I'm like, you have so many characters in this vast world of Star Wars that you can explore. That
and then too, then the cop. This ties into it. The cop from Ant-Man, right?
Oh yeah.
His son was the worst part about the Mandalorian, though.
Which one did his son play?
You remember this, like the stormtrooper, in that one episode, of the Mandalorian. Let's see. Okay, Chapter 5, the gunslinger. You remember the guy?
Oh, I know what you're talking. Yeah, I thought
Yes.
the girl would be the worst part of Mandalorian for you.
Wait, which one is this?
The gunslinger one with like that kid bounty hunter that was like teaming up with Mandalorian.
Oh, there's a stormtrooper in that one, or
it was. Well, he didn't play a stormtrooper, didn't he? Play the.
Wasn't he a former stormtrooper though?
Oh, a former. Yeah, he might have been a former stormtrooper.
Oh, yeah. I thought he was that was a goofy character. But like the Mandalorian has a couple of those, like that the hanger lady.
Yeah.
God, I hate the mechanic. The
mechanic is really annoying. Like any scene she's in, I just can't like.
Yes. When we told one of our friends though, like we cannot stand the mechanic, and he goes, "Why? She's hilarious."
No, she just breaks the immersion for me.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I do feel kind of like I'm upset that they took Gina Carano out of the show, because it was like she was a really good character. It's a shame that they like had to fire her because of her opinions. That was
I'm so mad. I was at a comic book shop and I was worried it was just going to cost a lot of money because it was behind a glass case. But you know what? I should have bought the bullet and I should have gotten it anyways. But they had like a Cara Dune action figure. And I should have got that because I was like, you know how rare this thing is going to become now? It's like those things are going to become like rarity items, which would be really great.
She will be missed.
Absolutely. I hope the rumors aren't true though. That it's not really rumors, but it was, I guess, just jokes going around that Amy Schumer, I think is her name, would replace her. That would be kind of awful. But yeah, next up, we will go back to the one that started. Well, actually, we'll start off with going into the prequels now. We'll do the Phantom Menace. So, talking about Jar Jar Binks, going into the first of the prequels, the one that, in a way, sort of started it all, because that's chronologically it fits in that slot. And what do we all think of this one? Where should this one be placed?
It has like that really awesome, lightsaber duel at the end, which is like probably the second or third best duel in the franchise. Score is good. I mean, it's kind of slow in the beginning, but like, I don't know. I would put it in either good or like Okie Day, like somewhere between there.
Yeah. Plus the pod race scene too. If we're
Mhm.
that one's a really great scene. So, what about you, Ross?
I can't put it between Okie Day or if I found your lack of quality disturbing. It's because like Jar Jar is annoying, yes, but like Liam Neeson's great, and then and I think that like Jake Long, I think his name is, or Jake Lloyd, gets so much hate. But though there are some good ideas, it just was not executed very well. So I'd put in the Okie Day tier.
Which is so fitting because that's Jar Jar Binks. But for me personally, yeah, this was one that, as a kid, it was like one of my favorites. I absolutely loved it. I watched this one all the time. But and I even went in theaters to see that 3D re-release that they did that one time, and that was kind of fun. But yeah, it's just I love Qui-Gon. He's awesome. I hope we see him in Obi-Wan. That'd be great. The Force goes to him. And then Ian McGregor is Obi-Wan. Like, this was his start. He was really great in that. Of course, like you mentioned, the score, that Duel of the Fates is my favorite. Is maybe my favorite track in all of Star Wars. It's just so cool. And then and I own the soundtrack because it's so good. That's one thing. Despite all the problems with the prequels, like their music, John Williams he knows how to do it, and their music is just
I remember that too, though. I remember that was one of the first times that a soundtrack got leaked.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, so then fans knew about that one thing.
Oh shoot. Okay.
What track 15,
Which was Qui-Gon's death?
Qui-Gon's Noble End.
Oh, Noble End. Oh no.
So fans knew.
Yeah, that's not good. It's like how Spider-Man spoiled or that soundtrack leak kind of.
Or do you what else? Which one though?
What?
Jurassic World.
Oh, how did that one spoil
Find
the
it.
leak?
Yeah, they gave away something big. Let's see. Okay.
But yeah, so for me, I would put it in the Okie Day tier as well. It's an okay film. I know some people who love this one, but for me, it's okay. I'll see it in like marathons and such like that. But it's not
Yeah.
one
Okay,
I
but
would
it's
just love.
called. But one of the tracks was called "The Park Is Closed."
Oh, okay. I could see how that could kind of give something away there.
If they hadn't spent as much time with the Gungans or like in the Senate, I feel like they would have had a lot more going for that film.
Oh yeah, I mean, I say like pretty much cut out Jar Jar,
Mm-hmm.
and you have what is like
And the racial
a really good
stereotypes too.
start.
Which
Which
ones?
The Toydians, I think they're called.
The Nemoidians?
Yeah.
I thought they were funny. I like them.
And then like Watto.
Oh yeah,
No, I love it.
Watto's great. I love Watto.
Yeah, but you got like
That's it.
that. I just cannot tell. Like Ray Oro was talking about, you like his experience with like episode 1 when he saw the pneumonia. He goes, I guess that's me now. I guess that's the Asians.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
But yeah,
But going to the one that started it all, which is Star Wars A New Hope, the first one, which for some reason the picture did not pop up on here. So we are going to have to do it because I did not see it here, but we're going to have to do it without the picture here. Just say which one, where it would be ranked at, because for some reason it did not load up on here. So where would we put Star Wars A New Hope?
It's automatic S tier. Like that's the first Star Wars movie I saw. It's like you got the best villain ever to grace, cinema. Have his entrance there, and like they had like the classic like hero's journey kind of development, and it was new, it was groundbreaking for the time, the effects and stuff. I think, and the story still holds up today. I think it's like, and you have Han Solo, who's still like, that was his like, pinnacle moment as like the smuggler who was kind of, redeeming himself throughout the movie. I thought it was very well done. Automatic S tier for me.
Absolutely. What about you, Ross?
I'm actually gonna shock you guys. I would put it in the very high A tier, only because I do love the movie and I think it's great. It's not perfect for me though. It's because Luke's whining does get a little bit on my nerves.
Okay, I mean, but he's also young and he's like kind of just starting out. So I guess
Yeah, no. I mean, no, I understand they start, but the whole like, when I promise you to get the power converters.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. It never really bought because I guess like he needed to start out like that in order to develop into what he becomes in the franchise. So that never really bothered me too much. This is, to me, automatic S tier. They have the high ground. Automatic, no questions asked. It's like, it's the one that started off like, yeah, George Lucas did a lot of crap later on with some of the prequels, like his decisions with some of the prequels. But man, will I forever thank him for making this film. This, if it wasn't for this film, we would have never gotten anything.
Yeah, you're
Star
right.
Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but who shot first?
Oh,
Han is the only one to shoot. Greedo never shot anything.
That's the right answer.
Oh yeah, too. And my teacher, like in my film program, he actually saw this movie opening weekend.
Oh,
he had to wait in line for 6 hours.
Oh my god.
His mom, after they sit down in their seats, his mom looked at her and tells them, "This better be worth it."
Well, hey, Dan Mario says A New Hope is his favorite of the entire Star Wars movies. So that's awesome, man.
It's my favorite too.
It is actually my. See, the original trilogy, it's so good that like it just goes, like all of them go back and forth for me. But right now, like usually it's my second favorite, but like right now it's like my third favorite because Return of the Jedi and Empire, they fight each other a lot, and those two are just.
It's my fourth favorite Star Wars movie. Yeah. So
interesting. Well, I guess you can say, because at the end of this, you guys can say like what you'd personally put above it personally, because like what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of give like our own ranking by the end of this tier. And real quick, I just want to do something. So this is gonna go bye just for a little bit because I want to just test something out here and see if
I actually do. I actually do though. Like have the New Hope comic book too.
And I actually have the yeah, there we go. All right, and I also have the vinyl for A New Hope. I bought, and like the vinyl looks like the Death Star, which is really great.
See?
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
And then do what this is a different than your normal comic book too.
Have you guys
It
listened
has-
to the? Have you guys
It
listened
has
to the
the
rate?
pictures from the movie
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, I
with the
finally got the
bubble.
picture here. So Star Wars: New
That's-
Hope will be there at the top, and I agree. This is the one that helped me definitely like fall in love with just not only this franchise, but it helped me fall in love with cinema. It just like it was a big part of what made me fall in love with movies, and I will forever thank it for being such a George Lucas. You may have made some weird choices, but I also bow to you, good sir. So, so next
And
up,
then and like his wife at the time saved the movie too.
oh yeah, I think I heard about that. I think I know what you're referring to, but you can tell for
Because
people who don't know.
he actually had like a scene that actually like slowed this thing down.
Yeah, and then she stepped in and kind of helped.
Yep, she was the editor.
with
Yeah.
her. Which I mean, is the slowest of the Star Wars movies, but I don't think that's at all like a bad thing. I think it like
No. But
think
I've
it
seen the
helps it
scene that she
naturally.
cut out that slowed it down a lot more.
Oh, interesting.
Biggs would like there was a scene with Biggs and Luke talking about literally like the crop formations and then how he's gonna join.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes less is more. Like you can't have you can have movies like The Last Jedi where it's just like nonstop shooting and space bombs and lightsaber duels and all that. But like I feel like it really like grounded it and made it more realistic to have more slow build up.
Yeah, but you gotta admit though, the whole like how the crops are done would not be interesting.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
And
but
that
I
was
do.
cut.
Yeah, but I mean, I will say this: Star Wars has always had the best deleted scenes in history. I mean, that's definitely something that I feel like wouldn't necessarily be needed. Next up, we would do another TV series, Star Wars Rebels. Now I don't know if you guys have seen this, but what do y'all think of it?
Never seen it.
Have you seen any of it, Braden?
Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes. I also saw some cutouts from like whenever Ahsoka goes to the Spire thing that has like the time travel, whatever. I don't know. I thought it looks. I've seen more of it than I have of Resistance. I think it's good, possibly Okie Day. It's not like it's not as good as the Clone Wars, but it's okay, I would say.
Yeah, that's a good. Oh, I forgot to put the. Dang it! I forgot to put the Bad Batch on here, but that's.
Wait, the Bad Batch? You mean how many times did Alicia watch it?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
No.
But
Remember how many times did he say?
like 25, something like that. Yeah,
In the first
it's
week, right?
something like that. It was kind of crazy.
And then how many times did he watch the Snyder Cut, the 4-hour movie?
7 days, or 7 out. Like 7 days in a whole week. He watched it, so that's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, I don't have Bad Batch on here. I don't know why. I guess I forgot about that. I blinked there. But yeah, Star Wars Rebels, it's good. I haven't finished it. I'm like 2 seasons in right now. And it's good. It's just it's not Clone Wars level stuff, but it's still something I enjoy watching. But speaking of Clone Wars, we will go to the Clone Wars movie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie of the Clone Wars, but this was one of the actual theatrical films that was released. And what do we think of the Clone Wars movie?
Okay, I've seen it. And then,
Alright.
okay, I have a weird relationship with it. I don't like it. Okay, I walked, like everyone told me how now like horrible it was. I thought it would be like Poodoo, but I thought it was bad. But I didn't think it was bad as everyone said. So I'd put it in. I find your lack of faith quality disturbing. Like imagine like if you hear about this movie that literally has like no redeeming qualities, but then you realize but then you watch and you go, okay, that was bad, but it wasn't as bad as they said.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
been a while, but no, I'm just saying it's been a while for me. But I want to hear what you have to say about it, Braden.
I would just say like I think it's cool. It's not really like immersive though. I never like sat through it and I was like, oh, this is Star Wars. It's like it was interesting seeing like the unique like clone trooper variants and like the battles and everything, because it gave kind of like at least the first battle gave kind of like the 2002 Clone War the Clone Wars TV show vibes, where you just had like these massive anime armies just colliding. It was kind of cool, but I thought like the story itself was kind of cheesy, so I'll put
Sky
it probably. Huh?
Sky Guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I probably put it in. I find your lack of quality disturbing.
Yeah, I would I probably put it there too, because like I haven't seen it since its release in theaters. It's been that long for me. But I remember not really, even as a kid, I wasn't really big into it.
I don't really consider it a movie anyway, though.
It felt like that's the issue I have with it. Is it felt like it was like a it felt like it was trying to be the first 4 episodes, but
It literally was.
But it was put into oh yeah, it was actually, I heard I forgot.
That's what the creator said.
Yeah, it was like the first 4 episodes, but I think that was the issues. It felt very jumbled whenever I remember it. It just felt like convoluted and all over the place.
One of the most annoying characters in Star Wars lore, though, too.
Yeah.
Jabba, what is that? Is that Jabba's uncle or nephew, right?
Oh, I think I know who. Yeah, that person is really annoying. I know it's Jabba you're talking about. But keeping on track with the Clone Wars, where would we put the Clone Wars TV series?
I would say it's good.
It's good.
Like, yeah, it's not any higher, like, because like it's not consistent at all. Like there are some really good episodes and there are some really really bad episodes. So I would say it's good.
The final season though was like some of the best Star Wars stuff that they've done in a long time.
Yeah, though, but you never want to watch it in order, though. They said, you want to look online and look up the story order, because they said that. I remember reading, though. I remember I had to do it too. It's because why the whole like episode 1-1 is actually all screwed up. Yeah. Did you know that, Michael?
I did not know that. Interesting.
Yeah, because like episode 3, season 3, episode 16 is actually episode 1.
Whoa! What the world? That's
yep.
It's like it's like how everyone tells you to start out with episode 2 of Firefly and then go to episode 1. It's like that's kind of interesting. But for the Clone Wars, yeah, I'll accept it in good. I mean, I think there's enough that you could maybe say low A tier, like low, but yeah, I think I'll keep it under good.
It's still better than Rebels, though. I put it
okay, hey Mike, do you know how much you have to jump around though?
What do you mean?
Here's the first. Okay, I'm gonna give you the first 5 episodes. It tells you to watch, right?
Oh, okay.
Season 2, episode 16. Season 1, episode 16. Season 3, episode 1. Season 3, episode 3, and then it's 101 all the way down to 121, and then it's 201, 202, 203, 217, and then 204, 205.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's just everywhere.
Yeah, because
Um,
and then it actually did give us a character. I hope to see you in live action someday, though.
oh, which one?
Ventress.
I would love that if we got a lot.
And then like you know,
Maybe the
like
Ahsoka. Well, no. Well, yeah. I mean, the Ahsoka show that maybe they could do something there.
and like Plo Koon was one of my favorites.
Plo Koon is one of the most underrated Star Wars characters of all time. I love Plo Koon so much.
Do you think they'll do it? What happened to Ventress? Do you think she'll come back in Kenobi possibly?
I think if she's going to come back, I think she'd come back in the Ahsoka show. Actually, I could see that kind of being where she pops in. Maybe Obi-Wan, but I could see her popping in more so. I think with Ahsoka. But talking about characters that we all love, let's move on to Solo: A Star Wars Story. This is kind of the Star Wars film that, if you ask any fan, it's pretty much the Star Wars film that no one asked for, but we got it anyways. And so, what do we all think of Solo: A Star Wars Story? Where would we put that? And I know you're a fan of this, Braden, so I will let you take this first.
Oh, I was going to let you guys go first, but I'll break with you guys probably, and I'll say I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I would say it's better than the Clone Wars. And I only say that because like it did it like it is very like say what like that. Okay, so he's not Harrison Ford, but like the actor does a good job. The story's very well done. You know, there's nothing like it's dark and gritty, nothing like heroic about it, kind of like Rogue One. But yeah, I thought it was good. It tells a good story, I think.
Okay. Yeah. For me, I like what it did at first. Like I was into it when it was starting out and everything, and then you get to that third act, and I feel like the film it was going on for too long, and I felt like I was like, are we still here? Are we still like the pacing felt really off, and then not only that, but like whenever the bounty hunter or whatever that was like took off her helmet and it was like a 14-year-old girl. I was like,
That's when my theater broke too.
That's when like broken laughter.
No. I meant like the projector broke down.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like people in the theater. Oh man, that'd be a bad time for the theater projector breakdown. But and then you get to like, and I'm okay with a cameo. I thought a cameo was going to be good in this film, but like, really, Darth Maul, like he has no relation to Solo whatsoever. I feel like a Boba Fett cameo would have made more sense, or a Jabba the Hutt cameo, or something like that, rather than Darth Maul. It felt like fan service for the fake fan service, and I was so excited that we were finally getting our first Star Wars movie without a lightsaber. Like I don't know why I wanted a Star Wars movie that had no lightsaber in it, and then for all of a sudden, just for for giggles and just make all the geeks cheer and everything, he's like catches his lightsaber in his hand. It's like ejects it out, and I'm like, really? Do we have to do this? Okay. So yeah, I mean, I would personally put it in the Okie Day tier because I think there's enough in there to say it's an okay film, but I don't think it's quite reaches the level of good for me. But I do think Alden Ehrenreich did a good job at the role, and especially Donald Glover as Lando was excellent. What do you think, Ross?
It's okay. Like it's not the best Star Wars, but it's not the worst. Like I think that if that one line were to be cut out, it would be a much better movie. Like which is the Solo line.
Oh yeah, that too. The way he got his name, I don't know. That just felt really
we didn't
forced.
need that.
Release the Lord and Miller cut.
I would love that. I mean, they shot like 90% of it before they got fired.
And then they added the dice, and it was like, oh, we have to make the dice a thing for the rest of the movies.
Oh, yeah. That was kind of, man. Yeah. I wish that see, like, Solo has some of the dumbest decisions in Star Wars, but it's also like has some of the kind of most fun as well.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
but
It's kind of
that, like, I always go back and forth though at that one decision in Solo. You know, so I'm not. If you'd ask me tomorrow, I think it's cool, but right now I think it's kind of dumb as a whole like parsec thing.
Oh yeah. But speaking of characters related to Solo, going back to TV, we are going into the Book of Boafette. Now, this is the most recent Star Wars show that just premiered on Disney Plus, and I am going to tell you outright that this actually goes into the, like, when I was watching this show, it was going to be in the I find your lack of quality disturbing, and it may still end up there, but like the Okie Day tier, I feel like is worth it for this only because of the Mandalorian episodes. They were awesome, but like,
Should we even
but, like,
consider the Mandalorian episodes as being part of the Book of Boba Fett? I feel like we could just toss those in with the Mandalorian and, you know,
yeah,
and judge them separately.
I guess so, because we already sort of did that whenever we talked about Mandalorian. So I mean, if you were to do that, then I would put it under I find your lack of quality disturbing, because yeah, the Book of Boba Fett to me was just, I don't know, it just felt so boring, and he just, like, where was that Boba Fett that was in season 2 episode 6 that was like wrecking shit up? Like, he just was so slow and just not able to move like the way that I hoped he would, and like, he didn't move fluidly. It was really odd, and then just, yeah, and then what they did with Cad Bane, I'm like, I liked that he was in the show, but yeah, like, that part was kind of weird. So yeah, it was, I don't know. There's a lot of things in there that I personally don't like. What do you guys think?
It's an Okie Day, you know, to the I found your lack of, you know, like it's because like I hated that stupid race.
Oh god, the slowest race in the world. Yeah, it was.
Wait, what race?
The ones where they were like on the
Power Ranger bikes, you know, the ones that look like the Power Rangers.
And then they were and then they were chasing that like slow ship, and then after
yes.
and then after that, Boba Fett flies down with his jetpack, but we don't see him flying. Like, he literally could have. We didn't have to have a slow chase scene. Just have a scene of Boba Fett flying with his jetpack, and that would have been way cooler. It's like, yeah.
How was the
if you
like
judge
the actress though, right? You like the actress, right, Mike?
I like her, but I don't know.
How's she in that show? You like, you know?
Oh, she's excellent in Yellow Jackets, but in here, yeah, she's just kind of meh. But what were you gonna say, Braden?
Oh, I was going to say, like, the first couple episodes I actually really enjoyed. Whenever he, like, you know, climbs out of the Sarlacc and we get to see him like interacting with the Tusken Raiders, like.
But then he's like, but then in the final few episodes, he's all just like, oh, I'm looking for my armor. Here's an idea. I'll go to the Sarlacc pit and try to fly inside the Sarlacc pit and get it, even though I crawled out of the Sarlacc pit with my armor. It's like, really? That was your first idea? You didn't think to go like the Jawas or
he didn't really go inside of it either, huh?
Like,
remember?
it was his ship. He was trying to like get his ship in there.
Yeah, but remember, like, he went partially in.
Under.
Remember, like, he went partially in and he just turned on the flashlights.
Oh yeah, and then the girl had to save him out of that situation. That was a really bad scene. But anyways, continue, Braden.
Oh, so if I were to judge it just on, like, so I think it's like the first couple episodes would be in like good, and then the last couple episodes would be in like poodoo. Like, they were just terrible. Like, they were not very well done at all. They like the Rancor scene. Like, okay, that's kind of like new, but it doesn't fit at all. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you're trying to like save this town, and basically you just destroy it at the end. Yeah, it's like the writing was pretty bad in the last couple episodes. Having Fennec Shan go and kill all those guys instead of Boba was kind of that was questionable writing decision.
And then take a shot every time he says, "I am Boba Fett."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like the book of Fennec Shan, because Fennec Shan actually was more like of a badass than Boba.
Yeah, I agree. It was just kind of, and I mean, I like her character. I liked her in Mandalorian. I liked her, in Bad Batch. I like her in a lot of these shows. But it's like, but I don't know. I'm like, it's Boba Fett. I love Boba Fett, and I don't know. They just
Yeah, I have no problem with Fennec. Like, I thought she was, I did not expect to like her at all, because I didn't really care for her in the Mandalorian. But like, I actually thought she was pretty well done in the Book of Boba Fett. But like, it just
she was.
Boba was so poorly done. Like he was probably my favorite expanded universe character. Like, I have like the comics back there, like the from like the Dark Empire, where he's like still kicking and like going after the rebels again, like, and he's still like this, feared bounty hunter, and this he's just kind of like he's not even like he's not a crime boss. He's like he's like the hero. Like, they don't know how to write good villains anymore.
Yeah. So where do you think that it would be like a good placement at? Because you said the first couple were good. Second was like the last few episodes were pretty. So where do you think would be like a overall?
It's so hard to place, because like I like some episodes a lot, and then I really hate some of them. I would say an Okie Day, or I find your lack of quality disturbing. Like, given the finale really makes me want to put it in the I find your lack of quality disturbing, because it was just so bad. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with that.
So you and I both are in agreement there. It was not good, in my personal opinion. But before we go on any further, we have a comment again from Dan talking about Solo. He actually said, "I didn't care for Solo when I saw it at the movies. Rewatching and buying it on Blu-ray, I've since not minded it. Perfectly in the middle for me."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that seems about where I'm at too. Like, just perfectly in the middle. So next up, we have, to quote Boba Fett, "They're back. The Empire. They're back." And they have, and you have Boba Fett on the poster, so it's a good segue there. But the Empire Strikes Back. I think I know where we're all going to put this. I might as well just start. I might as well just start moving it up there. I think I know where we're all going to put this. There's no questions asked. I mean, it's in the they have the high ground. I mean, are y'all in agreement?
Yeah.
I actually I would say this would be the first you don't know the power of these movies. I like it, but it's not one of those ones that has the same rewatchability as the Mandalorian and A New Hope has for me, which is just perfect, totally personal preference. I thought it was very good, but it's not quite top tier. But I'll defer to you guys on that one.
Yeah, this is the film that actually. What's interesting is I saw this first, and then I went back to some of the other ones as a kid. But I loved this film so much, and it's because I saw this one first. That this is actually the film that made me fall in love with cinema, so that's why I have such a special place with it. Like, A New Hope was a part of that because I watched A New Hope like right afterwards and all that stuff. But like, but this was definitely the first one that really made me fall in love with science fiction, sci-fi, movies, just everything like that. And just I loved just how dark it was, how it just built the story, and how all the characters have like importance to them. Every single character was well written. It's just, yeah, it's just an exceptional masterpiece in my opinion. I mean, there's really not much else to say of what's you know uh, already been said countless numbers of times. It's just iconic every step of the way for me, and it is while the Last Jedi, or not the Last Jedi, Return of the Jedi is my personal like favorite Star Wars movie. This one might be like the best Star Wars movie of them all, like in my opinion. I really do love it. So what do you think, Ross?
I'm gonna quote Jeremy Johns. Okay, some people think that Empire Strikes Back is one of the best Star Wars movies of all time. I respectfully disagree. I think it is one of the best movies of all time. Yeah, so this one deserves to be the top of S. They have the high ground. This movie's amazing. I love it. Now like I love how dark it gets. Now like and then like I love it. Feels like organic. Like with the heroes being split up. But still, like I just love this movie. And then the scene, and I love watching Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher be drunk, because they were drunk on that scene.
And we didn't mention too the whole improv scene of "I know," which is great.
Yes.
Of Han Solo's famous line. And then to me, this film is always so rewatchable because I can rewatch it and quote it all the time. It's one of the most quotable Star Wars movies, and I just
Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know
find
what
it
scene they were drunk
so.
in?
Which one?
Remember, like when they're leaving Cloud City and they were saying goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
They actually spent the whole night partying together.
Oh, that's fun. I didn't even know that.
I will say if they kept the deleted scene where like the stormtroopers open the door and like a Wampa arm comes out and pulls one in, know which one I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I know.
Put it in S tier for me. But
Oh yeah, that would that. Like I said, Star Wars has the best deleted scenes. Like they are so good with that stuff. It's sometimes there's certain deleted scenes that it's like, why did you not put that in there? And that's one of them. That would have been really cool. But either way, though, I think it's still a great film, even without it. And it made such a cultural impact. Like both A New Hope and Empire made such a cultural impact. I mean, everyone quotes the "I am your father," and everything, and that was like the biggest twist ever. Like, if you're going to introduce anyone to Star Wars, you do it the way it's supposed to be. You do it 4, 5, and 6, and then you do 1, 2, and 3, and then you go to the sequel trilogy. So, that's how you do it, and yeah, it's iconic. So.
Do you guys? Okay, this is a question though about Empire. Kind of, it ties into it. Do you guys really think that they would be able to keep it a secret nowadays? Because no.
Keep what in nowadays?
You know about the whole like Luke Skywalker thing?
Oh, him kissing the. Are you talking about him kissing Leia?
No. What the whole like I am your father?
Oh, well, what about that?
No. I mean, though, if it came out today, you think they'd be able to keep it a secret?
Oh, keep it a secret. Oh, okay. Probably not, because the internet is so huge.
Yes, like like that's the analogy I've been using, for like Doctor Strange. When my friend actually told me he's like this, like they said, now, like now, like the only time that like if you find spoilers is if you're looking, and I said nope, and I said, like, imagine you're a kid in your 80s and you pull up YouTube if YouTube's around, and then you suddenly see this title with like Darth Vader's Luke Skywalker's father, and there's a thumbnail from it.
Yeah, that's how it would be.
That's what I saw with Doctor Strange. I saw something like that.
Yeah. Dan says, I do really like Empire, but I think the only thing stopping me from liking it over 4 and 6 is that while it's got a good beginning and great end, I do find the middle to sag quite a bit, Yoda aside. Interesting.
I feel that. I feel like they spend a little bit too much time in the asteroid fields.
I've never really gotten that from it, but I can understand that. But going into sort of your favorite again, the prequel to your favorite, A New Hope, or I was saying New Hope, Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So, where do you guys think that this one belongs?
I'll say again, I think this would go under you don't know the power of these movies. It's very good. Like the Darth Vader scene, the hallway scene, very, immediately iconic. Some of the best, action and like storytelling of the Disney movies for sure. Probably my second favorite behind The Mandalorian. So I would say it's the solid A tier.
Nice. What about you, Ross?
S. This is my second favorite Star Wars movie of all time, and then like
Whoa.
it was my second favorite Star Wars movie, even before the hallway scene. I just think like this is like the most emotional, and then like Donnie Yen is an underrated character in it, and then I love Alan Tudyk in it, and then like Felicity Jones is always so good, I just love this movie, and then have like actors that you get are in it until you watch it again. Like Mads Mikkelsen always forgets in it, and then Teacher from Sex Ed.
Yeah, he's really he's in there too, and so this is a really good one. I'm not quite as high on this as some other people are, but I still do really like it. You have a great the whole cast of characters. Like you feel for each one of them. And it's just like, and it's such a, and like Ross mentioned, it's so emotional. Like every spoiler alert, you guys have had time to see all these, but like when literally everyone dies, you're just like, oh my god, you're devastated by the end of it, and I cannot wait for the Cassian Andor series. That's going to be really good. So yeah, I think because we haven't had anything in the A tier yet, I think the A tier is a good spot to put it. It is a really solid. You don't know the power of these movies. I think that's because it is really powerful. I think that is a really good spot to put it.
The only thing though is this movie kind of scares me too a bit though.
How so?
Is the uncanny valley aspect, the CGI when they put in, Tarkin and Leia.
That, but also it's just like, as far as just the like space and all that stuff effects, like it's one of the best looking Star Wars movies.
Yeah, but like Leia looked good, Tarkin looked creepy.
Like creepy in a good way?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't mind Tarkin. I thought he looked good. I actually thought it was the other way around. I thought Leia looked kind of off, and Tarkin looked good as far as the CGI faces go.
I will say, in terms of like rewatchability, I really think Rogue One is like better than Empire Strikes Back. Like I can watch like Rogue One
Oh.
multiple times a year, but like Empire, I can only watch like once because like it like Dan said, it sags too much in the middle. But yeah, I think I kind of agree with what Ross. Like I kind of want to put it in S tier, but like I'm not sure if it quite like reaches the benchmark of like the greats.
We haven't put anything in the A tier yet, so I feel like this is a good first spot to put it.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's one of those. I mean, I always revisit Empire more so, but Rogue One though is one of those. It's just I think because Rogue One's just so devastating, it's like hard for me to watch it all the time because like knowing that they fail pretty much and like everyone like dies, it's just.
Well, they succeeded.
They succeeded.
It's a movie about sacrifice, and that's not for Star Wars.
But it's like it's a movie about sacrifice where they all die, but it's like that's kind of what makes it harder as far as the rewatchability factor goes per se. But moving on now to one that you rewatch ever so often that I know that like this is Ross personally told me this is his favorite Star Wars movie and he will always watch this every year on repeat. And talking about bad CGI faces, let's go to Rise of Skywalker. Just kidding, Ross. I know you hate.
I don't hate it though. I do not hate it.
Oh, okay. Well, hey,
it's bad, but it's not.
Where would you put this?
Okay, I would put it at the towards the bottom of Poodoo, towards the bottom of I find your lack of quality disturbing. Because like there's some good ideas in there, it just wasn't executed the greatest.
All right. And what about you, Braden?
It's going F tier. Poodoo. No good ideas. Terrible story writing. Impossible to follow. No logical, cohesion. The ending was, and they also took off they defeated the entire purpose of the original trilogy by giving Rey the victory over Palpatine that Luke and Vader had in Return of the Jedi. I don't even consider it canon, like in my head canon. I would definitely put it in the bottom tier.
Yeah, so Rise of Skywalker, I'm gonna vent, all right, because like I hate this movie, but Rise of Skywalker was one of those films that it released like opening night. I remember being so hyped because I was like, "This is the final Star Wars movie." At least how they advertise it. That's how it is, at least for right now. Episodic movies. It was like, "This is the final episodic movie." I'm so excited. It's coming out on my birthday. Opening night is on my birthday, December 19th. And I remember being so hyped. And I got together with some friends on my birthday. We watched it together. I was like, guys, we're here. Final Star Wars movie on my birthday. Let's do this. It ends. And I'm like at a loss for words. Like, I'm dumbfounded. I don't even know. Like at first, I didn't even like walk out straight up hating it. I walked out like not even knowing what to think. I was like kind of just confused. I was like, and I've never felt that feeling. And then the more I pondered on it, we were eating dinner and stuff like that. Then I really started to kind of begin to hate it, and I was like, you know what? This is kind of a crappy birthday gift. I really do not like this one. It's birthday gift too. It was really bad, and I was one of the few people that when the trailer came out and you heard like the Emperor laugh, like everyone was all like hyping it up and was like so cheering and everything. I literally was facepalming. I was like, oh my God, no, they're not doing that. No, they're not bringing the Emperor in. Because like I said, Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie for that throne room scene. That entire throne room scene alone is what makes Return of the Jedi for me. And so
having the Emperor come back is like the entire reason why I really hate the sequel trilogy is that they have no creative like bone in their body. Like they literally had to rip off the Emperor from the original trilogy because they could not come up with a new villain.
He'll be back though. They said though.
Well, yeah, I guess you can't kill him. You know, he's just
no. Because remember, no, they're going to bring him in the Obi-Wan show.
Which that actually makes sense from chronological standpoint, but something like that I don't mind if you bring him back like in a prequel type of situation, but bringing him into something like this, made him like he looked ugly. He was like zombie emperor. That's how I described him. I was just like, what the world? And like they had no explanation. Like there's a deleted scene when Colin, like when they were writing it, where he says like where Kylo Ren asks like, "How are you back?" or like, "What are you?" and he's like says, like less like more than a man, less than a clone, or like less than a clone, more than a man, something like that. I forget what it was, but it was just a sentence that pretty much explained to you how the Emperor was back. And then they cut that out and gave us no explanation as to how the Emperor was back. And that was really dumb. And then it's just the fact that, like, and I've heard people say, you know, even Adam, who he loves this movie, he'll defend it, all that stuff. And I get in so many debates with him because he's like, well, see, like, Vader's redemption was him saving his son. That was it. And I'm like, then you did not watch Return of the Jedi properly. The fact that, yeah, he saved his son, but the fact that he had the gall to lift his master over his shoulders and throw him and let his master, like, completely, like, use all his powers on himself, Darth Vader on himself, to throw him over and say, no, you're not going to take my son from me and stuff like that. That right there was his redemption. And by bringing back the Emperor, you just like shit all over that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it irks me so much. And then on top of all of that, on top of that issue already, I mean, you have like all the other characters that are wasted. Like they bring back Lando and kind of not really do anything with him. They have
He's just been hanging out on this like Tatooine clone, just partying.
Yeah, and then
you got alien chicks.
Then of course you got like Finn, where you need to take a shot every time he says Ray in the movie because it's like, you know, that's all he is there for now. And it's just so, yeah.
Oh yeah, too. No, like, but you gotta admit though, that one festival they go to, that was a nice little nod about how they said it's like once every 42 years.
Even that felt like on the nose. It's like, oh, remember Star Wars came out 42 years ago. It's like, okay, I don't know. It was weird.
And they wasted Kerry Russell too.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, she was also there's only one good scene in it, and it's like a completely kind of a wasted scene because it's like they're not even your friends, dude. But it's where like C-3PO, like he's never had a moment. Like he's always been the comic relief. He's never had a moment. And then Rise of Skywalker like gave him that moment where he's like, you know, sacrificing his like DNA or memory or whatever it is. And then he's like says like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm taking one last look, sir, at my friends. And he has like that moment and everything finally. I guess it's like the only scene you could argue is like good in the movie. But I don't know.
And then the whole thing, you know, about the Star Destroyers.
But Dan says Rise of Skywalker's fun, like dizzying mosaic of hodgepodge ideas, messy without a doubt, but I find engaging as hell. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a good like popcorn flick, but it's not like, you know, good writing or like a good Star Wars film. So
yeah, it's definitely I can see it being like a guilty pleasure for people.
Yeah.
And then he says, I've seen worse way ways villains come back before. Freddy Krueger came back thanks to a dog pissing in Elm Street 4. I remember that. Yeah, that was pretty bad. And then Rise of Skywalker also has my favorite bit in the whole sequel trilogy, Han's little return. See,
Han didn't
that-
actually return. That wasn't even. That was just like some delusion in Kylo's mind because Han's not force
yeah,
sensitive. we know.
that's what confused me. Like they performed, they executed the scene like he was a Force ghost, and I was like, why is this happening? Like he's a Force ghost right now. He's not. And then,
I
but
guess if you're a good guy,
yeah,
you just get the
just-
force heaven.
I
But
guess.
there's always been a rumor though that about Han being force sensitive. So
But he's never had any. I don't think he's had any training with Jedi's.
Yeah,
I don't see us.
You had to have like some kind of Jedi training to do it,
okay.
like because. Or else like all the prequel Jedi would have done it, but like if you like knew anything about the like expanded universe or like how I think they'll go over it in the new Obi-Wan series, but like how you have to like train to like focus your essence into like a force being whenever you die to like have that. Han
Yeah,
doesn't have that. Like he literally that's just like a vision in Kylo's mind. I think that was. I think they already confirmed that, but I could be wrong.
So I agree with Purdue. I mean, you know that this film is bad when I had to actually break up with Daisy Ridley. Now we're no longer together. We're now ex boyfriend.
Do you still like her though, or no?
Because I do like her, but we're just not together. Like as an actress, but no, I was like, baby, you gotta call it off. You were in this dumb movie, and I can't forgive you for it. So
Well, though, remember though, it's
Yeah.
she signed on for all three. Remember though,
I know, but it's just, I guess it's not her fault, but still, yeah, it's awful. I hate that one so much. Next up, I don't know if any of you guys have seen this, but we've got the Clone Wars adjacent series, The Bad Batch. What do you guys think of this? I've seen this whole series all the way through. I watched it as it aired.
was it good? Or I never watched it. I watched one episode. I'm like, not for me, but I might give it another chance.
Interesting, because the first episode was actually like maybe one of my favorites. It wasn't like my number one favorite, but it was one of my favorite episodes. It's like the Clone Wars where it was like hit or miss season wise. Like there was episodes that were like really good, and there were episodes that were like really bad. So it's just like it would be hit or miss. Did you see this, Braden?
I've only seen one or two episodes, so I wouldn't be comfortable forming a judgment about the series as a whole. From what I saw, it was either like Okie Day or I find your lack of quality disturbing. So it was the one where they're on that jungle planet, and then like go up the tower and they start like killing things and they find Echo. I think or is that in the Clone Wars? I have no idea, but it was.
I think that was in Bad Batch, if I remember correctly, but yeah,
They said that Daisy Ridley though was actually into like one of the worst movies of the year. I heard.
Oh, the Chaos Walking one?
No, The Bubble.
Oh, I didn't realize she was in that. I'm gonna have to check that out now. That she's in it.
And then you know who else shows up? I just looked in the cast. You know who else showed up?
Who?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, because yeah, it's in the trailer. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I feel bad. I feel Bad Batch is fitting an Okie Day slot because it's like a more okay version.
Oh,
of the
sorry.
Clone
I didn't
Wars.
watch Bad Batch. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Visions.
Oh shoot, that's another one I forgot about. Well,
How was that?
Fine, I forget about it. It was good. I liked Visions. It was one of those that though, like it had like one awful episode, but then there was like some other episodes that were.
That was the one that I watched.
Okay, and then
Episode 1, I went not for me.
really episode 1. Oh, that's one of the best Star Wars things I've seen in a while. Was episode 1.
I'll have to watch
Oh,
it again then, you
man.
know.
That was such a good episode. It felt like an old samurai movie. Like that was a really good episode. I love that. Watch it in Japanese. If you watched it dubbed, maybe that's why. Watch it subbed. Like with that episode, it feels like an old samurai movie when you watch it subbed. It's really, really good. But next we've got we will go to, I guess we'll do Attack of the Clones. So, where will this one rank for you guys?
Poodoo.
Really? Okay.
It's the worst Star Wars
what's
movie
wrong?
in my opinion.
Okay. I mean, I don't think it's good. I think it is a bad movie, but I don't think it's Poodoo quality. What about you, Braden?
I think I'll surprise you guys. I think it's good because I mean, like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's not like it has very cringy lines. Like Anakin and Padme do not go well together in it at all. But I mean, the action is fun. I mean, it has some really nice world building. They had to have some of the boring Senate scenes in there to kind of show how Palpatine like rose to power and like how he's like getting all these powers and like manipulating people to get what he wants. So like it can be a little bit boring and tedious, but it's also kind of necessary for the story. And it's, I mean, like I like that they introduce some villains that have like, you know, that are more complicated and they're not like just like these, evil people, completely. Like Django, he's just a bounty hunter, who's getting, credits to get by. And then Dooku, he has his own reasons to not like the Jedi. And like if you guys are familiar with EU at all on Dooku, he's like he's probably like my second favorite like villain in the Star Wars universe. But he's like, because he's like, why would you want to for like the Republic and like the before, or the old Republic, like whenever they like accepted like a slave army, and then they're trying to force other planets to stay within their little republic. Like I thought it was cool that they had like this guy who's like, he's a villain, but he's like actually like fighting for a cause that's a little bit like more, um, there's gray area there.
Interesting. It's definitely one of those that it gets better for me each time, but it's one of those I think it's like got a couple cool scenes like the Jango Fett and Boba and not Boba Fett, but Jango Fett and Obi-Wan fight. I think is really cool. I think that the ending fight is kind of cool, especially with Count Dooku and Yoda. My wife Natalie Portman is great in this. I mean, she was after Amy Jo Johnson from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I think Natalie Portman was like my longest celebrity crush. Like I watched this as a kid, and I was like obsessed with her after this. Like she was my Daisy Ridley for a while because of this movie, and I love Natalie Portman, and she did a really good job as Padme. So, I just feel like if they, and it's funny that we were actually going to get Leonardo DiCaprio as our Anakin Skywalker in this because then he read the script and was like, I have a reputation to hold, so it's like he didn't want to do it. So I don't blame him because like you read it, and if you were to read a line like, "Oh, I don't like sand; it's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere," it's like you'd probably be like, "What is this?" and you'd not want to sign up for it. So I can't really blame him for that. I mean, it definitely has a lot of execution issues and a lot of problems there. I mean, the lore building is really well done though, but I think it's just like the execution's so bad in this one. I would have to put it in. I find the your lack of quality disturbing, but that puts us, and Dan's still watching. That puts us at a three-way tie. So Dan, it's up to you. Put it in the comments below where you would put it, and give us the final vote. Because right now we're at a three-way tie with Ross giving it Pudu, Braden giving it good, and then me giving it like I find your lack of quality disturbing. So we're all over the place here. So we need you to chime in. Just say which tier that you'd put it in. And
Watch him put it in S tier.
he does say here. He says, I used to think Attack of the Clones was the worst. Looking back, it's really just Anakin and Padme I can't stand. The rest I find pretty cool. I guess if he finds it pretty cool, then I assume that he puts it in the good tier.
He has to define it. He has to say which one it is because that could be a couple different tiers.
Yeah, it could be. So I guess you can define it for us, man. Tell us where you would put Attack of the Clones at. Let's see.
If not, I'm fine with good because that's where I put it. But
yeah, I'll put it there if he doesn't spawn back here. I guess for right now I'll put it in good, and then if he answers back with his answer, then we can put it in another placement.
Because I think I think it's awful. It's because of some of the lines and then the title of the movie. You know, now like Attack of the Clones when they never attack, and then literally,
Hey, good there. Oh,
sorry.
Who is the phone? Yeah, turn that off.
Okay, but you get it though. About like the line about sand is rough and it gets everywhere.
Yeah. That was a pretty bad line.
And then they never attack though, really.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can understand that because yeah, they never really do. And he says, "Yeah, good tier. Wow." So we have an upset. Something that is, this is our first real big upset of the night. Something where a film that is hated by many, regarded to be one of the worst films in the saga, is now in the good tier.
Dan has good taste.
It's a Braden and Dan. So
wow. I bet you if Ari was here, he'd put it in the S tier, wouldn't he?
No. I've talked to him before. He'd put it in the tier where you're at. So next up, we have The Force Awakens, going into a film that kind of everyone was so hyped up about because it was bringing us back to Star Wars. It like years later, we finally have more Star Wars. Where would you guys place The Force Awakens?
Pudu.
Whoa!
I hate this one more than the Rise of Skywalker. I'll tell you why.
Whoa!
No, that is absolutely no originality at all. And it's like just playing off of people's like love for like the original trilogy. Like they literally just like took a bunch of like there's like the whole scene where they have like Phasma at gunpoint and he's like, "Do we have a trash compactor?" Like, okay, like we got like the inside jokes. There's lots of that. There's lots of like very, very similar shots. Like you get like the trench run, like where the X-wings are flying down, like in Starkiller Base. Like there's so little originality with worse characters. I just like I can't rate it any higher.
Oh man, that's like I knew you weren't a fan because of our conversation. Yeah, I knew you weren't a fan of Force Awakens, but
Mhm.
like,
No,
had no.
I was absolutely hyped for
No.
the movie whenever like it was, whenever because I had high expectations because it's Disney. But then I saw it and I was like, I'm looking around and everyone's clapping. I'm like, do they not realize this was made like, 40 years ago and it was done better?
See,
You know?
I see. I feel like they needed to do that, and here's my argument as to why they needed to do that: is because the prequels, while some people like them, they're fans. I like the third film, and may not like the first two as much. Like, while you get stuff like that, uh, their overall were really divisive,
Mhm.
and so I feel like they were trying to say, "Hey, let's go back to the safe route. Let's go back to what made Star Wars great, and let's give the old Star Wars fans what they loved, while also introducing the new fans to what we loved growing up, and maybe that can really like start as far as the first film back. Like you don't do that with any of the other ones. As far as the first film back, it's like yes, let's set our ways back into Star Wars by kind of giving
Okay,
us
so
a
let me
familiar
ask you a
feel.
question. Who's the villain in The Force Awakens?
Well, the villain of the Force Awakens, I guess, was they set it up as like Snoke was the
Or who are the
technically the
villains? Plural. It can be plural.
I guess because it's like a mixture of Kylo and Snoke,
Kylo and Snoke,
sort of.
right?
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
no, no,
but
no.
like,
And then you're missing one more.
Well, General Hux was like just kind of. I mean, he was, I guess, a villain, but
mhm. Yeah. So you got those three guys, right? And none of them are scary. I mean, Snoke was kind of scary, but then they kind of like
Hux though had that Hitler scene that kind of made him seem kind of scary.
they're all right, but they're all incompetent and they're not very. I mean, like they're not in any way, equal to previous villains like Palpatine or to Darth Vader. Like they just
I mean,
don't.
yeah, I
They're
agree.
they're not good, well written villains at all. I don't think that there was like never like any doubt like in the movie or while you're watching the movie like that the heroes won't succeed because they're so bad at their jobs, and that's like I cannot just I like the whole movie I was just like this is not entertaining at all because you already know the outcome of the movie. And they couldn't even like I mean they made like the Death Star like it's basically the Death Star. Like they couldn't even come up with like a we knew it was going to blow up as soon as like it's brought up. It's just like it's there for nostalgia. That's like what the whole movie is for. Like it's not
But they retitled it. It was Starkiller Base.
Starkiller Base, sure. But it's
And then like it was actually a planet.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I think they needed to do a much better job. They needed to be more creative. They needed to make like the villains actually competent. They needed to give the heroes more like logical progression. They couldn't like just make Ray like this. I'm not gonna say she's a Mary Sue because that's like been you know
She's
said
not
to
though. You know why?
shouted to the stars, but like it's uh yeah, I would say like it's just not well written at all.
Well, though, to be fair though, she's not a Mary Sue. Do you know why?
Why?
How powerful was Luke?
What do you mean? How powerful was he? He had
Before
no
the training.
he had no force powers in the first movie at all.
Yes,
He
he
had
did.
when when did when did he use the force?
At the very end.
He trusted his instincts, but he didn't actually manipulate anything.
Well, though, he said use the Force, Luke.
But did he actually use the force? We didn't really see him use the force at all. He didn't manipulate any objects that we know of.
No, but if he okay,
But the Force can also be in your mind. You can
yeah,
still
but though,
do it
if
like
if you want a true Mary
not
Sue,
like
John Campbell brings it up perfectly, and the true Mary Sue is actually Dominic Toretto,
for Fast and Furious. Yeah, that's
who's just a mechanic.
Yeah, he's really just there to win all the time. But I mean, sure. As far as originality goes, sure, it's not big on originality. I'll agree with you there, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like it really got, like it set up what could have been an interesting universe, especially with Rey's vision and stuff like that. Like there are some cool things in there that I thought were really well done, and I still really like it every time. I will revisit this one, and I will always have fun with it.
All right, but here's the thing. So I was willing to forgive it, whenever it first came out, just because okay, you guys weren't original, but there's still the opportunity to be original. But the rest of the sequel trilogy didn't really redeem itself, so it doesn't really, even though it had opportunity, like you said, it doesn't really, in the end, it doesn't really take advantage of that. So it doesn't really merit that grace that you're extending to it.
Okay, well, he puts it on Pudu. Ross, where would you put this?
I'd put it in. You don't know the power of these movies and shows. I love it. I love it, and I still love. I've seen it a few times. And then I loved Han Solo's character arc. How it extends from the movies, when how in the space scene in A New Hope, how he said, I don't believe in any of this, and then when he said it's true, all of it.
Oh yeah. And his death scene is very emotional too. I remember when we saw that in theaters, everyone was silent. They were like, and hey, Braden, if you want to have another fight with like how I have a fight with Adam about because he's such a J.J. Abrams fanboy that he'll love a lot of what J.J. Abrams does, and so I have that fight with him about Vader's redemption. If you want to have a fight with him, he says Kylo Ren is the cooler, less whiny version of Anakin. So,
do you know what? Okay, this actually ties into it though. Do you know what show had the best evil character redemption arc though that I've ever seen?
what?
Zuko.
I heard of that. I've never
No,
seen it.
Avatar.
Oh, okay. I don't. Yeah. All right. I don't know why I was blanking on Zuko's name for a second.
Am I right? Or
No, I mean I do love his redemption arc. It's really good. Dan says, I like Force Awakens. I don't like how a lot of franchises have basically followed the same formula since though. So he's sort of saying what you're saying, sort of, but he still likes it. And you know what? I'm going to put. So I'm sorry, Braden, but you are outnumbered. I'm going to put it on the same tier that Ross did it.
do you know what?
Is?
Yeah, and plus two,
I have
you
fun
it also makes me like Zuko a lot more to Mike.
What?
He's in my favorite movie too. So yeah.
Oh yeah. So next up, going back to prequels, we have Revenge of the Sith.
S tier.
Oh, S tier. Okay, tell us why.
Well, for one, the duel on Mustafar, best lightsaber duel in the entire trilogy or Star Wars saga.
No. Didn't you say Return of the Jedi, Mike?
No, I said Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, I thought it was Return of the Jedi. Yeah.
Yeah,
because we're going back to the prequels. But yeah, I would say, best lightsaber duel ever. Very emotional at the ending because you have these first the whole sequel or prequel trilogy was developing the relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin, and then it was actually really emotional whenever that was broken, and then you had the scene where the clones are executing all the Jedi. That was very emotional, and I ended up crying whenever Padme died because she was my I had a crush on her too, like you did. So yeah, it was and the CGI was improved over the episode 2 the battles were awesome to watch. And the cinematography was really great too, because like you had like the opening shot where like the it's peaceful and like you just have the starfighters flying in, and then like they fly over, and then there's like a big battle going on, and like yeah, I love. I mean, it's there's never like a dull moment in the movie, so I'm gonna put it in S tier.
Nice. What about you, Ross? Where are you putting it?
I'd put it in the good tier. It's my favorite out of the prequels. It's just like like it's some of the lines and then the acting. Like is what throws it off. A little bit for me. Like I do that scene though. In the opera house is one of the best scenes in like all of Star Wars. Like I have the high ground, but some of the like some of the lines you like, what have I done? And then the whole speech about like you were the chosen one. Like it is a little bit cheesy, but still, but I still enjoy the movie.
Against me.
Yeah, and plus two, like if you guys actually watch it again with this mindset, it changes the movie. I think that it wasn't just like Padme dying that like he was after. He also thought that like she was actually having an affair with Obi-Wan. He didn't.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that in the original script she was supposed to take like a dagger with her and try to kill Anakin?
Yes, and then like
that would have been cool.
Did you know that the movie though caused some controversy with inside Lucasfilm?
How so?
Okay, the voice. Okay, well, I like the voice of General Grievous, right? In the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The guy was an employee of Lucasfilm, and they say if you're an employee of Lucasfilm, you cannot audition already, for a role. And then like he lied on his resume, he lied and used a different name, like when he auditioned.
Oh, I did not know that. That's interesting. It's a fun fact. Yeah, to me, so Revenge of the Sith, it's got a funny story to me. I used to, back in the day, because I was on the hate wagon for prequels, I used to really not like this movie at all. And I would, rewatch it over and over. I loved it as a kid, though. In fact, this was actually my first Star Wars movie in a theater. I was really young when I saw it, but this was my first Star Wars movie in a theater, and I remember like seeing it up on the big screen, being like, "Whoa!" I was so like immersed into it, and it was definitely just it was as I've seen it, now over the years, it's gotten way better. Like this is a very good movie. I do think it's not flawless though. I think that the execution in some of those scenes, like we were talking about, I think that those could have been better. Like you could have maybe had "I have the high ground" as a good line, but it's just like it sounds so ridiculous. And then there's like a few other like moments like that where it's like the execution was kind of off. Of course, the there's in the lightsaber duel. Why I like it at the end, like there's certain parts like in the lightsaber duel when he's spinning, when they're literally just stand there at one point and they're spinning their lightsabers like this. It's so showy, and like my favorite lightsaber duel of all time is Return of the Jedi, and because I love those like slower like lightsaber battles, and this one's just so flashy and showy.
Mm-hmm.
Like while it has a lot of emotion behind it, that was kind of an issue of mine where I was like, they could have toned down on that a little bit in the lightsaber battle.
Have you watched Shadiversity's like breakdown of that duel?
No, I
He has a
haven't.
YouTube channel. He does like a bunch of like medieval, swordsmanship, kind of stuff, and like he critiques it, but he says like overall it was actually pretty well done. Like I'm not a swordsman, so I couldn't tell you like it's flashy, but I thought it was done in a very good way. Yeah. I would put it in S tier, but what do you guys think?
I mean, I personally, if I was going to do it, because on my most recent rewatch, and this is still a great score. So like people are like, you know, looking at me, they're like, finally. But it's an 8 out of 10 for me. It's a solid 8 for me because I think it is definitely the best of prequels. I think it's one of the better Star Wars movies. It's just got a few of those issues there.
Mhm.
But who knows? It could go up again to like an 8.5 or something like that. Because each time I see it, it gets better and better and better.
Mhm.
So maybe one day it will get to the S tier. But for me, I would probably put it in the you don't know the power of these movies. For me,
So
but
we got a tie again, unless you guys want to split the difference.
yeah, we got a tie here. Um, and so Dan, do you put in any of our tiers that we put it in, or like because I can go to the audience to try to put it in there, or we could try to split the difference either way. Um, but he does say Revenge of the Sith. Definitely best story of the prequels, ruined completely by Hayden. Phantom Menace for the win. Wow, so Phantom Menace is his favorite of the prequels there. And then he says, uh, got to see Revenge for school trip. Now that would be funny because you go on a school trip to see Revenge of the Sith. You see all these little kids get butchered in one scene, and they get back on the school bus, and you're just like, "Oh yay, that was fun." It's like, oh shit.
There was a theory though about that kid becoming Snoke too.
What the world? That's such a weird theory.
No, do you remember that one or no?
No, I never heard that, but that's so
Do you know which one
weird.
I mean though?
The main one, like that he was. Are you talking about the one that like had the speaking line whenever he was about to
Yes.
slash at the kids? But like, that's so weird. Why? Why is that even a theory? Like, what the heck? I, I don't even get that. Yeah, no, I don't understand people nowadays. That's really weird. Um, so do you guys just want to split the difference on this, or what do y'all think?
I think it's I put it an A. I'm happy with the A.
You'd be
Okay.
happy with the A tier. I think that's
Yeah, I'm
good.
happy with that.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot then for it. Um, so on to what is my personal favorite. So saving it best for last, in my opinion, which is Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. Um, so I'll start off with this one because it's my personal favorite. Uh, Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. It is absolutely they have the high ground. This is a masterpiece through and through. It's just yes, I'm a fan of the Ewoks because everyone can go suck it, but um, also it's just that whole third act is some of the most deepest stuff I've seen. Like a man who is so dedicated to trying to bring his dad over to light, and then having um, that him stand up against the emperor and then practically almost die to show that love and compassion for his father, and then his father sees what he's become, and then he kills his master, and then at the end when he's like finally gets to meet his father, like the good side of him, Anakin, he's like I gotta save you. He's like, you already have. That's one of the best lines I've ever had in Star Wars. It's such a beautiful tender movie that was just such a great cap off to everything, and it's just it's one of the ones I revisit all the time, and I just catch more things in it. In fact, I'll even go as far to say the throne room fight scene. I know it's intertwined, like it goes back and forth between like the battle on Endor and that. But if you were to take out the battle on Endor, I mean, the battle on Endor is great. I'm not like knocking on the battle on Endor, but if you were to take the throne room part of it in general, that is my number one favorite movie scene of all time. Is the throne room fight scene in Return of the Jedi. It is just and everything that is encapsulated with that, including Vader's redemption, including his goodbye to his son, everything there is my number one favorite movie scene of all time. I love the throne room scene. And so, yeah, Return of the Jedi, I'm always going to have such a soft spot for it. What about you guys?
If they just had the throne room scene, I would put it in S tier. But like they had all these peripheral scenes, like the going to Jabba's palace, which was kind of interesting, but not really. It was meh in my opinion. And then like Battle of Endor was cool. It would have been nice if they'd stuck with the original script and like had like the Wookiees instead of the Ewoks. But we got Ewoks, so yeah. I think like I would put it in A tier, but only because I really like. I was not a huge fan of the other scenes. The throne room scene, I agree, is like one of the best scenes in Star Wars, though.
Oh yeah, one of the best scenes in cinema in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's so well done, and yeah, I mean I can definitely understand your complaints, and especially like I don't know why Lucas decided to ruin his own creations, because like the edits that he makes to this film are so bad. Like, really, why would you put the shoo shoo with the foo 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 and the ha he hoo or
And
whatever?
then
Like,
that one thing that
and
pisses me
then
off the most out of not like any changes in the special edition. I hate that one change he did.
yeah, you're talking about the no.
What?
Are you
Nope,
talking
not
about
that
the
even.
no? Oh, which one?
We talked about it last night. Remember, it's the whole Anakin thing.
Oh, that, yeah, the Anakin, Hayden Christensen's Anakin popping up as the Force Ghost, and the which, by the way, fun fact: I told Ross this, but I don't know if Braden knew this. Did you know that instead of Yoda popping up in the Last Jedi, it was actually going to be a Force Ghost of Anakin?
Repeat that. I thought Anakin already popped up in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, but it was going to be like, in the Last Jedi when you saw that Force Ghost of Yoda.
Oh, in the Last Jedi.
Yeah, the Last Jedi. Instead, the original plan was going to be to have Anakin, Hayden Christensen's Anakin, pop up, and there's the Force Ghost.
I don't even remember whenever that happened. Like I remember watching the Rise of Skywalker once, and I was just like, or no, was it the Last Jedi? Where
Yeah,
are you talking about the 3 scene?
I'm talking about the scene where like the Jedi texts get burnt and stuff.
Yeah.
Because,
Okay. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I feel like that honestly would have made more sense, because I feel like Anakin would have been more worthy of like. I feel like he would have kind of been okay with burning the Jedi texts. Like, he would have not cared at all. While like Yoda, I feel like that's a little bit out of character for him, but
It's like kind of like they ruined it that they like he could like now call down for like lightning and like affect the physical world as a Force ghost. Like, what have the rest of the Force ghosts been doing? Like why can't you guys help Luke out whenever he's fighting Vader or whatever? If you guys can just call lightning down,
I mean, it is in lore saying that like if you're a Force ghost, you're like the most powerful version of yourself that you can be, or something like that.
But they don't. It's,
Yeah, it's kind of done. They don't have about there's anything there, but yeah, my biggest thing I hate in that he added to Return of the Jedi, I always loved it when Vader like looks at his son and then looks at the Emperor, looks at his son, looks at the Emperor, and then they decide to add on the Blu-ray version as he's picking up, they decide to add a no as he throws him down, and I was like, really, you added the no at the end? And that's the version I own, and it's just yeah, it's bad. I want to see. I have a friend who has them all on Laserdisc, and like they're the unedited, uncut editions, and that's like. In fact, I think I have seen this, because I think Adam had the DVDs that didn't have any of those cuts in them. So
I've actually seen though the original cuts on. I used to have the original cut, from the theater, on my 3 terabyte hard drive that I
yeah.
use use that one site, you know, the PB.
Yeah.
You use
So
PB,
so
right?
so which tier did you say you were gonna put it on, Ross?
S.
S. All right, I'm right there with you. Both of us are on S tier for Return of the Jedi. And then Dan here says the final celebration end scene of Jedi is without a doubt the best ending I've ever seen of any film series.
Oh yeah, true. And then like when they now like add in Jar Jar.
But the music change though, that was one of the good special, or special edition edits. Have you guys heard like the original music for the end scene
Oh yeah.
versus
Yeah,
the special edition? Like it's a lot better now.
Did you know that, Mike? Though, did you know they put in Jar Jar?
in the yeah, because the little
What?
Gungan
I
celebration.
thought he was in the celebration.
He
Like
wasn't. Yeah, you
you
all
hear
the
like the Gungans say like Misa free. Like I thought that was Jar Jar.
Yeah, like you have all them in there cheering. So, that is a really great scene. And then it says, I don't mind Hayden popping up in the end. What I question more is why not add Ian over Alec? But that scene's too good to not
Because
Don't wait on
it messes with
That's things.
things in my mind. You know why? Because like Bear died a good man. You know, if he would go, you know, that's saying that he did not die a good man. You know.
Yeah, I guess because it's like I mean, but Anakin himself, before he became Vader, I mean, Anakin wasn't a bad man per se.
Anakin was a Jedi version of him,
Yeah, though, but and plus too, like, do I like it though? Isn't I like give somebody who never gets any credit, you know, almost credit, you know.
What are you talking about?
Okay, you know, like if they use the original one, you know, like with the actor that played Vader, he never got his due, you know, really, and people don't know who he is.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, with there though, you know.
But that edit never really bothered me too much, to be honest with you. I was always kind of okay with it. It's just some of the other ones that were kind of weird. But Dan says, okay, yeah, Vader screaming no as he kills Palpatine is an addition I don't care for either, Michael. Do you have that addition? I guess you don't, because it sounds like he's just it sounds like he's shocked. I don't know. But
Yeah, too. Like, but the skeleton though was really cool though. What they did, huh?
The skeleton? Oh yeah, that thing. Yeah, when he's like electrocuting him, and you see his skeleton as he's, you know, moving around. That was really cool effect. So yeah, guys, that's our tier list. I would say, do you guys want to like real quick come up with a kind of a mutual ranking, even though we are in disagreement on some things? Or
You mean like individual rankings? Like I feel like this is the mutual ranking. Like this is what we determined as a collective. Are you asking? So
yeah, yeah. I guess a personal ranking from you guys then. I guess.
Oh yeah, hey Mike, I thought that you'd find this cool. Okay, you know the guy that played Grievous, right?
Yeah.
He was just in a movie that you watched a few weeks ago.
Which one?
Hudson Hawk.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
You would have said?
What?
Matthew Wood started his career at Lucasfilm, you know, LucasArts computer game division. One day, ILM asked for long-fingered employees to act as a stand-in during the reshoots for Hudson Hawk. Wood ended up performing the hand gesture for Leonardo da Vinci as he holds the alchemy stones in his hand.
Oh, okay. I did not know that was General Grievous.
Do you remember that or no?
Yeah, I remember that. That's really cool.
Was it good though, that movie, or not really?
I mean, it's one of those that, like, if you watch on LSD, then you're gonna have a good time with it. It's
He's tall too. I didn't know that. Did you?
Ridiculous. Oh yeah. I mean, I would imagine so if like they made his character extremely tall.
He's 6'9".
Oh, jeez. That's tall.
He's a sound designer. He's a sound designer for a lot of big stuff.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He's 69. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but he's actually like he's done a lot of cool sound effects too in movies.
Oh, nice.
He also did. Okay, he was the ADR mixer on Licorice Pizza.
Okay.
He's done all. He was the sound editor on Loki and Falcon Winter Soldier, WandaVision, The Mandalorian.
Wow.
Everything Star Wars almost. He also was the ADR brother in Knives Out and Good Boys.
Oh, wow. So he's done a lot of sound stuff, pretty much.
Yeah, and then The Wind Rises.
Okay.
Red Tails, Super 8, Munich.
Yeah, that's cool.
He also did it for Armageddon and Con Air.
Oh, wow. That is a big career.
And then The Rock, Mission Impossible.
Jeez.
Let me see, Quiz Show, which is an underrated movie. Yeah, he started working. Oh wow. Okay. He started working in 1980, and then in 1991 he really started.
Interesting. So yeah, we'll do personal rankings since we were this is our more mutual ranking here of how we do it. So, I guess I'll start off with Braden since he's a special guest. How would you rank all these yourself personally?
I've already told you my opinions on all of them. I just to briefly go through it. I moved Force Awakens down to Poodoo. I'd maybe move Solo up to good. Yeah, I think everything else looks pretty solid. I'd move Return of the Jedi down to A just because I'm not, and Empire Strikes Back just because they don't have the same rewatchability for me. Revenge of the Sith up one, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Nice.
Me though, I would keep it where it is, except I would actually let's see, I would I would move I would move the first Phantom Menace down to I found your lack of quality disturbing.
And then you'd probably move Attack of the Clones, right? Because you were not.
No, I mean I was outvoted on that one. Really.
Well, but this is your personal.
Okay, yeah.
Wait,
then I would move Attack of the Clones down to Poodoo, and then I would move Oki. It's because my least favorite goes Attack of the Clones, and then Rise of Skywalker, then Episode 1, then Solo, and then Return of the Jedi, A New Hope, The Force Awakens, Rogue One, and then Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, and yeah, Braden, give me a ranking like that of the movies from 1 to however many, so 1 being A New Hope, and then I don't know.
So 1 would be I got A New Hope, and then Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back, Rogue One, Return of the Jedi, Attack of the Clones, Solo. Actually, no. The Phantom Menace, then Solo. And then everything else can just go below that, except for The Mandalorian. That's still up, and that's for me. That's right next to A New Hope in quality.
Nice. Yeah, if I was ranking this, if I was ranking The Mandalorian alongside it, and also Book of Boafette too can go way down there as well. And I'm not gonna really rank the Clone Wars movie just because I haven't seen it in so long. It's been such a long time that I'm don't even feel justified in like putting it in my like actual ranking. But as far as this tier list, if I was going to switch things, I would put The Last Jedi. I'd put that actually probably under the good tier because I think it is a good movie. I put Attack of Clones under I find your lack of quality disturbing. I'd put and then I think everything else would pretty much stay the same.
Except
Here.
for you would move the Force Awakens to the top of they have the high ground.
I wouldn't move that to the top. I mean, I would. I like where Force Awakens is at right there.
No. I said that you moved the Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, I thought you said Force Awakens.
No, you'd move that to the top of the high ground.
No, I would not. That is bottom of the barrel trash.
What do you think about the Babu Frick though?
They were okay. I mean, I didn't care for that person. Not person. I didn't care for that character that much. So for me, yeah, obviously, last place is Rise of Skywalker, and then after that, I'd probably say Book of Boafette. Actually, like if I was going to rank the shows with it, I'd probably say that, and then I would say like Attack of the Clones, and then after
Do you want
that,
to notice now, like when the quality starts to go down? Do you know when they're working on like multiple things at once?
Yeah, I guess I could see that. Well, although Mandalorian,
We got Rogue One, and we got Rogue One whenever they were working on multiple projects. So I wouldn't say that's a universal rule.
Plus, also Mandalorian, they were working on alongside other shows, like so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, though, okay, like around like when did Solo come out? 2018, right? Or
Something like that. Yeah, 2018.
like they were working on the last.
No, it came out. Wait, when did Solo? Honestly, I don't even know, but it was around there. That's all I know. So,
Yeah, it came out in 2018, the same time as the as the Last Jedi.
I thought the Last Jedi was in 2017.
Oh yeah, I remember they were 6 months apart. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty normal for their movies. It's one. I think it was one a year. I don't think any other Star Wars movie came out in 2018.
Yeah, but like, weren't they working though on the Mandalorian and the Book of Boafette at the same time? Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah, Mandalorian season 2 is awesome. So that's why I'm saying that doesn't.
But the Book of Boafette, was not. So.
But you're saying though that if you're saying though that the quality dips, then that means Mandalorian season 2 would have dipped because you're saying if they're working on things at the same time, then you're saying that's when the quality of Star Wars is starting to take a dive, and it's really not. So it's just a matter of just the filmmakers and how they make things.
Yeah, because if you got to admit though too, like with the whole MCU thing, they were working on Falcon and Winter Soldier and Black Widow around the same time, and both those were not my favorite things.
Yeah. But speaking of Solo, that would probably be next, and then it would be Phantom Menace. Then I would say the last.
You put Solo above the Phantom Menace.
No, I put the Phantom Menace above Solo because it would be Solo, then it would be the Phantom Menace. I'm going like in that.
Oh, you're going up. Yeah.
Like from worst to best. So that's how I'd do that, and then I'd put then I'd probably do Last Jedi, and then Rogue One.
Oh my God.
And then Force Awakens, and then I do Return of the Jedi, or not Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith. Mandalorian, A New Hope, And Empire, and Return of the Jedi go back and forth. But for right now, I'll say Empire and then Return of the Jedi. But they go back and forth with one another all the time. It's one of the most wishy-washy 1 and 2s I've ever had. So, laugh it up, fuzzballs. I love that. So Dan's list. He says he has 14 Caravan of Courage. 13 is Rogue One. Wow, yeah, that low. 12 is Attack of the Clones.
I have good taste.
11 is the holiday special. Golly. What? And then 10 is Solo. And then 9 is Battle of Endor. And then 8 is Revenge of the Sith. 7 is Last Jedi. Actually, you know what? I think I do like The Last Jedi better than I like Rogue One, but I'll still keep it where, and tier-wise, I could still keep it because of how we voted. But, and then number 5 is Force Awakens. Number 4 is Phantom Menace. Number 3 is Empire Strikes Back. 2, Return of the Jedi. 1 is New Hope. Man, Dan, he's always like, I've talked to him about things, and him and I are always having like differing opinions. And the fact
Oh my god, Dan loves movie 43, doesn't he?
that he loves The Predator, he loves like so many movies that like I hate. So,
But though, have you guys seen the meme that's going around though when she wants a romantic night together and it says Star Wars sex playlist, and guess what it is all?
oh no, what?
The Cantina Band.
Oh boy. So yeah, that's definitely an interesting list. I like your top 3. I'll say that. And then Dan says only show I've really seen is Mandalorian, which I put somewhere in the middle. Okay, so yeah, he's definitely all over the place.
Did you know that the guy from the Kyle Reese from the Terminator is actually in the Star Wars universe now?
When did he pop up?
He popped up in the Mandalorian season 2.
Oh, where at?
The Ahsoka episode.
Oh, I remember him now. Yeah, I remember. I totally didn't realize that was him until you mentioned it. But I see his face now. So, which that episode was so cool. I loved the Ahsoka episode. Talking about old samurais type stories.
It made me want like one of those koi ponds.
Oh yeah. Definitely. It was definitely really cool. And Ahsoka's my favorite female in the Star Wars universe. So
except for the whole Sky Guy thing, right?
I was kind of biased. Yeah. I mean, except for like I said, I haven't seen the Clone Wars movie in so long that like.
I think she's in the show too.
I remember.
I thought she was well done in the Clone Wars, but I thought she was kind of. I didn't like her so much in the Mandalorian or in the Book of Boafette. I don't think
Mandalorian she was okay, but I think Book of Boafette, yeah, she was just kind of wasted.
Well, because like she goes to like this whole like the Jedi, we gotta abide by the Jedi code and everything, and like. She got, her character arc in the Clone Wars is being screwed by the Jedi.
Yes, it is. And then, like, okay, this is a spoiler, for the Clone Wars. Do you really think that somebody who literally walked away from the Jedi would still obey the Jedi code?
Yeah, exactly. Like, she's got to have, like, be saying, like, hey, the Jedi obviously didn't have it all right, So.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Then you are lost. That's also one of the most quotable Star Wars movies. Not gonna lie. So yeah, guys, that is our ranking of in our tier list of all things Star Wars. Happy May the 4th, everyone. I mean, it's still May the 4th for some of you people that watch my channel, but for us, it's here on the East Coast. May the 4th is over. And now it's Revenge of the 5th.
It's still, I still got about an hour and 48 minutes before.
And then it'll be Revenge of the Fifth for you.
And tomorrow's a big day too.
Yeah, Multiverse of Madness. I'll be seeing that. Then I'll be giving you guys my review.
Can you believe
of
though?
it,
Is that like
this weekend.
2 days in a row was a big superhero day too?
Yeah, because we have that, and then we also have the free comic day.
No. I'm talking about how today too. A movie came out today, 10 years ago.
Oh, Avengers. Yeah, that's kind of that's kind of crazy. I didn't even realize I was 10 years old until you mentioned it. I was like, kind of wild.
How old were you when it came out?
Oh shoot! Don't make me do the math.
You're 15.
I guess because I'm 24, so I think I was like 15 when it came out. So
Well, then
yeah,
you know how old
it was
am
a
I?
great one.
Yeah, how old was I?
How old?
22.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of wild. But
I was graduating high school when the first Iron Man came out.
wow.
Yep, 2008.
You're an old man.
Dear Mr. Chapek, do not call me old anymore.
Man. So yeah, that'll be that'll be it for us today, guys. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and remember, may the 4th be with you all, now and always.